Arsenal and start with the Gal. That would be great. And I'm going to try and sort my earphones out, people.
Chat to us, Gal. Chat to us, man. What happened? What happened?
Terrible performance from beginning to end. Honestly, we created all those chances, but we didn't do nothing with them. We need to take our chances. We can talk about referee decisions, and I know Terry's going to be like, you know what, you got to keep your head, you got to keep it on the referees. But bro, at this point, I don't want to speak about the referees. Fuck the referees. Fuck them. I really don't give a shit about them and all their bullshit. This is not about referees at this point. We have to look at ourselves. We can't be looking for a penalty or a referee decision to bail us out to get us a victory every other week. We have to do it ourselves. If we're serious about competing, we had 5 big chances missed. 5! Do you guys realize we haven't had 5 big chances majority of this season? There's been maybe 2 or 3 games where we've had 5 big chances in a single game. And to get 0 goals at home, it is just ridiculous. First of all, Gabriel Jesus by himself should have bagged 2 goals with those headers. Clear cut. He should be scoring those. As a professional footballer, he should not be missing those sitters consistently. You guys have been yelling and screaming, we need a striker for the whole season. You want to know something? You guys are right. We do need a striker. But the sad reality is we're not going to go sign a striker in January. We're going to have to get the best out of the players that we currently have. Everyone here can say, oh, we need Ivan Toney, we need this guy, we need that guy. Unfortunately, I don't believe we're going to go sign a striker. Does that mean the league is done and there's going to be a lot of overreactions today because we lost to West Ham? I don't think that's the case. I think people are going to overreact. They're going to go crazy. The league is a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, we dropped points today. Yes, we dropped points versus West Ham and Liverpool consecutively like we did last year, but it's not the end of the world. I think we need to have some level of decorum and calm down. Don't go overboard today with our analysis of the game. We still were on top of these guys, and they did what they had to do. West Ham did what they had to do, but it is a disgraceful performance from us offensively, and I just feel like the players let the manager down today. But everyone's going to criticize the manager as always. What can you do?
Yo, Brandon, you weren't feeling the greatest. You was gonna miss out on the stream, but now you've come because you got something on your chest. How do you feel? Do you agree with Miguel that was a disgraceful performance from Arsenal?
I agree with Miguel to a certain extent, yeah. First of all, KJ, let's get in there, right? Fuck VAR. Fuck VAR. It was brought in to stop inconclusive decision making. It was brought in to make the correct decisions when it's clear and obvious. That is clear and obvious. The ball is out. I don't care what anybody says. That is worse than Newcastle, and that should never have happened, right? However, when we concede that goal, it is on the 13th minute. We have another 80 minutes to go and win the game. We didn't do anywhere near enough to go and win that game. And then worst of all, right, let's talk about the attacking 5, because I think most of us will talk about our attacking 5 today. Not just the front 3, but Trossard, Odegaard as well. Shocking performances from every single one of them. Odegaard was probably the best of a bad bunch. But even then, how many touches does he want to take in West Ham's box? You know, it's like he's on Strictly Come Dancing or something, dancing around like a prat, right? Just shoot. You know, I'm fed up with this. Week in, week out, create chance after chance after chance and do nothing with it. And this is why we need killers. We don't have any killers in this team. Saka is not a killer. Martinelli is not a killer. Gabriel Jesus, for sure, is definitely not a killer. And that is the difference, right? But the biggest thing that disappointed me more than anything else is we was asked to defend twice in the entire game, and we concede twice. And it is embarrassing defending, not just in the first goal, but the corner as well. Zinchenko, why are you allowing Mavropanos to run off you like that and give him the space that he needs to head that in the back of the net? It is embarrassing. So it's not just the attack where we need to improve, but in moments in the game when we need to defend, we need to defend a hell of a lot better. And that is not good enough. And do you know what, right? It don't look like we've learnt from last season at all. Because Manchester City have only had to play against Everton yesterday. And up until that game, they'd dropped points in their previous 6 games. And now all of a sudden, we've handed them an opportunity with a game in hand to be level on points with us again. All because we cannot do our job. all because we cannot do our job at home to West Ham. West Ham. David Moyes, West Ham. David Moyes, by the way, has never won at Arsenal, ever. Yeah, until today. Not at the Emirates, not at Highbury, never won at Arsenal, and we hand him a 2-0 victory. Well done. Well done. And look, I agree with Miguel as well, right? This ain't on the manager today. This is on them players. Them players need to step up. If they want to be title winning, title challengers, title winners, then they need to show the mentality when it happens. It just seems to be very fitting to me how we went to Anfield last season, should have come away with a victory, ended up getting a draw. Okay, this season the story's a little bit different. But it seems to me like Anfield has all of a sudden started this doubt in Arsenal players' minds all of a sudden over and over again. Declan Rice was poor tonight, really poor. There wasn't a single player on that pitch that could come off with their head held high and say, I did my job tonight, because they was all crap, all of them. And they need to fix up real quick. But we need to go out and get a striker in January. I know what a girl's saying, you know, we don't trust the club to go and do what is required because we see it last season. But if we don't do that and get a striker minimum, and I still think we need 2 players after that as well, right? If we don't go and get that killer, forget being in the title challenge, because City will come back into this. Liverpool, I'm not so sure. They're going to lose Mo Salah to, you know, the African Cup of Nations for a while. But the point is we ain't winning this league with this current crop of players. We're not.
We definitely need to strengthen, but I'm not throwing my toys out of the pram. I'm not saying that this team is never going to be able to win. Guys, this was a terrible performance. Terrible performances are not acceptable, but guess what? These can be learning points. These can be something you can learn from, and we have to push on. I know you guys hate the fact that I'm even trying to spin a positive out of this, and I don't like it myself, but the reality is we cannot give up. We have to. This is too early in the season for us to be saying if we don't strengthen, we still believe this team is good enough. It's just they have not been playing to their full capabilities because there's been too many changes. Today, no Kai Havertz, Trossard in that midfield, it didn't work. Mikel Arteta, if there's one thing you're going to criticize him for, is that we have to figure out.
Sorry, again, I've got to disagree, my friend, because when you look at it right now, Eddie Nketiah is our top scorer. Gabriel Jesus has scored 2 Premier League goals all season, and people wonder why Pep Guardiola was so quick to sell him to Arsenal. That's why, because he is not clinical. He is not clinical. Saka normally is quite clinical, right? Martinelli, I don't know what's happened to him this season. He has been so poor. And then again, you know, you got Trossard, who can come in for Martinelli, but he's not showing anything right now. He was awful today. But the point is,
do you know why Martinelli is poor? It's down to simply one thing: the system changing and Martinelli having more players in the space that he usually operates in.
And so while I understand that, Miguel, the point that I'm making is it's January, yeah? We're in or near or in or about in a title race. If we do not fix it in January, this current problem that we are having, where we create so much and do absolutely nothing with it, like you said earlier in your fan cam, 5 big chances created, we should be burying them. And instead, I watched against Brighton, who's missed chance after chance after chance, against Liverpool, chance after chance, and again today. And eventually, this is what happens. Yeah, we become a cropper. So fix it, Arsenal. I don't want excuses. Go out and fix it.
Bro, I fully agree with you, but there's one person. There's only one person who can fix this. The players themselves have to finish their goddamn chances and take this pressure off themselves by at least thinking before they shoot, or at least shoot, for God's sakes. These guys are not taking the chances. That's what's costing us.
If the players are never been killers. If the players have never been killers, how do you expect them to do?
But the thing is, that's now on Mikel Arteta as the manager to now fix. Now this is an issue that's continued on and on and on for the whole season. And as someone, I still believe Arsenal can win the league. I still think they will. But this is an issue that you Arsenal fans have been talking about since pretty much early on in the season. It's now up to him. You said the one person, Igal, is the players. No, it's Arteta. How does he now change this around? Saad. I know we've got Spurs to talk about after your game as well, but Saad, what do you think Arteta needs to do to get this attack firing? Like, what needs to happen?
We need to get a striker. We need to get a striker. I said it last week. I came on. I said, "Oh, we still need a midfield." Now we need a striker, man. This is dangerous. We're in dangerous territory here with no killers in the box. Nobody's in the right positions. Like I can kind of get what Terry was saying on. Oh, if you cross the ball more, then if you get an early cross on, then you cause more danger in the box. But even if we get the early crossing, there's nobody there. Nobody makes the run into the positions where they need to be. There's nobody at the back post. No, like I would be so happy if we came out and done the early crosses and was able to catch them off balance, catch them by surprise. But nobody makes the run into those positions. Nobody. Jesus is all the way in defense, chilling with Saliba, having a nice old chat. Martinelli is on the side, just looking at everything happen in front of him. Just ball watching.
So just quickly to your point, just to add to your point, which is you're 100% correct. Last week when Arsenal were playing Liverpool, I believe there was a lot of chances that Arsenal had. They had nobody in the box. I remember when Saka crossed it in, and I was like, I don't really care about that because there was nobody in the box. Arsenal, you have forwards that don't think the first thing on the mind. Let me get the ball to the back of the net. That's the problem with Arsenal. Like even with me with Liverpool, I've always said this: we don't have killers, and we've missed Jota. And look at the game against Burnley. Jota comes on, boom, that's a killer. Arsenal don't have that, and that's definitely something that you're missing from the attack.
To be fair, a few years back anyway. Like even with Lacazette, when we used to have Lacazette, it's the same thing. Like literally, I don't think there's no strikers in the box anyway. We can't see that. The same system kind of happened even because of that kind of killed off Aubameyang in the last 6 months. And that thing.
I agree, but Saad, I agree with what you said. Listen, when I said earlier in the show about getting the ball in early, that was just talking about today's game in a vacuum.
Yeah,
you are right. I noticed it in the first and second half. There were times where the ball was out with wide players. They're in good positions. I look in the box and there's 2 red shirts. So sometimes it isn't about. Maybe you can't even find maybe you won't find a striker who can score 30 Premier League goals a year. That's hard. They're finite. But what you could have just by having someone that's always in the box plus a couple of runners is you cause more confusion. It creates more space. It brings other people into the game. And it's certainly an area that needs to be improved at Arsenal. And it's why, as good as you've been, as much as I think some of the criticism you get this season has been over the top, I still have got Man City down as favourites to win the league. If you address that and you go and get someone like an Ivan Toney, if he settles in straight away and starts performing, that changes the lay of the land slightly for me, because it's just watching you guys tonight. It reminded me a little bit of the latter years of Wenger. Nice football, control the ball, but when it got in and around the edge of the box, you didn't really look like you were going to score. And that doesn't happen every game, but it's certainly happening too often for you to become Premier League champions. You're definitely in a title race, but the reason I think you're going to fall short of City right now is because you just don't quite have that edge. So I couldn't agree more with you, Saad. I really couldn't agree more with you.